I think everybody can tell where we are.
My first time in Japan. After visiting nearly 100 countries, very few have stimulated me as much as this one. And trust me, it's wild.
I'll take one. Thank you. Daiki, good to meet you, Daiki. Crazy good.
So join me on the full 2-week experience as we dive into Japan like you've never seen before.
And so, we are in Japan, guys. For the smoothest immigration, they gave me my sticker probably within like 2 minutes. I get 3 months here, I'm not leaving, or maybe I am. And then you have to fill out the customs form. Then they ask me, do you have fruits? I'm like, I got apples, I think. She's like, oh no, apples. So all like, then there's like a little security dog. I take a shot. Oh, don't take photos. So, but everybody did that in the most polite, friendly way you can imagine. So this is a proper first time arriving in Tokyo. Never been. So guys, my first time at a Family Mart here. I know. Thank you. Thank you. It's been a while since I'm like in a country that is like new. I'm just like people watching. So Kaisei line, we're just gonna hop on, figure it out as we go. The reason I look like an absolute idiot at the ticket counter is I had to get out my physical Visa cards. Wow, really didn't expect in Japan. Or cash. Ticket machines, all cash only here in the airport. Sometimes you hear Japan is living in 2050. Feels a bit more like 2005 around here. But yeah, this is how the ticket looks. It's pretty cute. Skyliner. Number 4 is mine. Wagon. Skyliner. R19C. No. Should be in the city in like 40 minutes. Day number 1 in Tokyo. I think everybody can tell where we are. Everybody's just zigzagging through the streets. This is the Shibuya crossing. Honestly, a bit of a challenge to pass through. A world famous place without a doubt. Now this is like the modern face of Tokyo from the 90s, the 2000s. But honestly, when I am here, what I feel is absolute retro vibes. Old Japanese buses driving. We have these old Japanese taxis, and in many ways, this doesn't feel like the future. This feels super retro. The lights. So let's dive in. Sun should be setting soon. Music is buzzing. Shops everywhere. People are dressed up. Neon lights. This is, I would say, a way to describe this neighborhood. In some ways, you could say, like no other. Honestly, it's a bit hard to navigate. So many people, even though it's like Wednesday today or something like that. Next, at least 4 or 5 days in this city. My goal is going to be to see a lot of different neighborhoods. We start off at the most touristy place. I'm like this guy, you know, I came to Tokyo, came to the Shibuya crossing, everybody needs to know about it. But I think afterwards, there's some other shopping district nearby, which is very famous. And then I want to slowly work my way inside and find some corners that are maybe a bit less common. This, for you, is Shibuya. The way these two girls are dressed is pretty much very, very common. I like it, very fashionable. Some people high fashion, others much more playful. I'm wandering here for the past 20 minutes. The sun is slowly setting. You do have to say this neighborhood is like no other. Like it's buzzing. Some guys are driving through. Oh, another across walk. Okay, it's not just one of them. So basically everybody's just zigzagging and fighting for their life. Everybody everywhere some kind of music is playing. Yeah, sun is gonna be slowly setting I think I'm gonna be calling it a day, still recovering from the road a little bit, and over the next 2, 3, 4 days, the ambition is to show you at least a couple of very different sides of Tokyo. Because if you're ever gonna come, or if you've ever, everybody has heard of Shibuya, so this is it. Guys, I've just wandered in to go to a bathroom and everything is so crazy old school. This is a travel agency. You can go to Malaysia, truly Asia. I feel like I'm in the 1990s. For real. This has been Shibuya. First day. Guys, and as always, if you're planning to travel anywhere in the world, we are partnering up with Level 8. In my opinion, the best suitcase in the game. The quality is amazing. I have had one of their suitcases that lasted me for multiple years. You have the smoothest rolling wheels and a couple of different models. Like this right now is the Adventurer case. You see it has the wide grip, so more things fit inside. Also, you actually open it on the top, you unzip it. So just check out their website. They have a lot of different models. Of course, also checked luggage, premium, high quality suitcase. It's gonna last you for a long time. They also have a lifetime limited warranty on them with free shipping to Europe, UK, US, and Canada, but they do worldwide. So no matter where you are, they can get it delivered to you. This one, I think I haven't mentioned it, also has the extendable. Basically, I zip this thing here open, and what I get is another 5 liters extra space. So if you're looking for a suitcase that's gonna last you for a long time, you're going on a trip soon, check out the first link in the description. Or if you know somebody that likes to travel, it's an amazing gift, especially for the holiday season. So let's get back. And on a different morning, welcome to a very different neighborhood. We are in Akiba, as the locals call it. We just saw a sign full, I think it's called Akihabara. And just coming out of the subway, we're gonna be getting an idea together. Very, very different. Like Shibuya is probably, I don't know, an hour drive or something from here. This is the thing about Tokyo, it's very spread out. If you're in the center, where it's kind of like the central station, it's pretty much in the middle of these two right now. And this neighborhood is famous, from what I understand, from what I've been told. It's kind of like a subculture, really, neighborhood. So all kinds of different anime, manga. So now we're talking, starting to get it. Basically another one, a little bit more old school shopping street. I see tax-free signs absolutely everywhere. And this side there, kinds of mangas, different drawings. So for you to get an idea what kind of neighborhood we're speaking of, basically very small, little local manga, comics, anime shops. For anybody that is into that, it's probably absolute heaven. The real. Please do not remove unpaid books from the floor. Well, that makes sense. Another way of saying don't steal. Cute. Charming. As I said, cute, charming. So, genuine, naive young man mistake. I just walked up the top floor of a comic shop, and let me tell you one thing. I've never been into that subculture, but basically type of websites you look up. 18 plus, 20 plus in Japan perhaps. And I took a bunch of photos, and then on my way out I see there's a no photo sign. Okay, It is fun. Seriously, it is like a different world. It's like nothing you ever seen. I do travel light, but a couple of little gifts. But you know, one thing that is slightly irritating over the last couple of days, I've been carrying this bottle over here for probably a good couple of hours with me, because there's not a single trash can in this city. For real, on the streets, nowhere, never. We have made it into a different neighborhood. I put two things on the map. On the one side, some famous temple we're gonna check out in a second. But even more so for me personally, I'm a big skyline guy. I'm interested in new developments. I'm interested in where the world is going. In Japan so far, Tokyo has been amazing. It's one of the most interesting cities. But in most ways, it feels more retro than futuristic. But being out here, I gotta tell you, on one side we have the tallest tower in the world. I don't mean building, I mean just tower in the sense of it's for TV, for transmission, so not a residential building or office. Some freaky boats. I mean, this one's probably like a good 15, 20 years old, and back then this was probably absolutely insane. Looks very cool. I've seen it actually earlier from a different place. In the distance, I thought it was just a tower. Then I realized tallest in the world on the one side, and on the other hand, you see it pretty much from no matter where you are in the city. I would say this is the first neighborhood that feels really a bit grand. You know, after all, we are in the largest city in the world by urban population, and this is the place where you kind of feel it. So many cars, trains, everything, and tourists in this area for sure. Check this out, guys. You can get the famous matcha attack. Already my nose is aggressing against me a little bit. It's quite wow. And it is around. I've just seen to matcha attack yourself with ice cream. It cost like $7-8. Making money. I'm happy for them. I don't even like matcha. So this is a neighborhood that has a famous Buddhist temple. My temple is the Sky Tree. Super interesting. I think we're gonna wander back here when it's gonna get dark, and right now it's getting dark around 4 p.m., which is actually quite crazy. I don't know, the last time I was in a place where it gets dark that crazy early. Let's see. There's the tower, but we're gonna stay in this neighborhood. So first time I'm seeing this proper kind of like touristy type of thing. Let's see what we can find if we dig deeper. It seems to be that there is a guy doing treatment on the street. Some kind of treatment. This is cruelty. This is cardio. Good stuff. Strong man. Seriously, you see it in the legs, honestly. Whenever people are like, stop using the horses to entertain tourists, it's like, well, what should we do? Japan has an answer. For the cultural part of today, we are generally in the Asakusa district. This is a huge shrine here, actually quite a bit bigger than I expected. What I love about it is it's easily accessible. It's a super, let's say, just chill and fun neighborhood to be around, especially if you want to see the spire, which was the main reason I wanted to come personally. And what you find is that you have this shrine, which definitely has been rebuilt, because after World War II there has been not much left. I don't know about this one in particular, but all around it, modern buildings, residential. I think the tower is starting to peek through, so super cool the fact that you can walk through this temple without any entrances or admissions. Maybe the operational part inside, but here mostly just a walk-in area. Inside is the place of worship. Anybody knows what they're doing here? Some kind of papers, letters, they're shaking it. I have no idea. Some holy smoke. So we are about to check in to one of the newest and what some people say is the best hotel in Tokyo. Modern, sleek, and maybe the best in all of Japan. Let's find out. Danny Death. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Good afternoon. Hello. But we made it all the way up already. I'm seeing a side of Tokyo I haven't seen yet at all. We're seeing the river. Look at that. Wow. Now that is one big wow. And also lots of new developments, bridges passing through. So here we're gonna do the check-in. And I suppose this is the lounge throughout the day. What would you recommend from the teas? Something.
Personally, I really love the peach melba.
That sounds very
But
good.
you have to try also the Fairmont original blend.
So let me confirm with you for the stay this time. So you're staying with us in the room, Fairmont Gold Tokyo Tower view with a king bed. And
See ya.
so the room is 4208.
Already here, yeah? We're on 42 right now?
Yeah,
Perfect.
42, yes. So it's
Wow.
very yes, here's your room.
Wow.
Yeah, it looks better at night.
Ooh, even better at night. Very nice. Oh, wow.
As the Tokyo Tower illuminates,
I thought the tower is going to be somewhere in the distance. Usually on the photo look bigger.
Yeah, it looks-
Here in real looks bigger.
yeah, it
Wow.
really looks bigger. Yeah.
That's very, very nice. Very good. All right.
Nice room you got here.
Crazy, crazy.
We got the Bluetooth, very good. Bluetooth
Very nice.
speaker.
I got the smaller one.
And here you got
Big
the
one. Very nice.
You just turn it on, connect
Perfect.
with Bluetooth, and that's all. And here.
Guys, this room is an absolute work of art. Just stepping into it for the first couple of minutes, I have to tell you, this is one of the nicest rooms that I've ever seen. It's not the size, it's not just the view. Here, I was really banking on the view, and it truly does not disappoint. First of all, we're seeing the Tokyo Tower, but it's not just that. You see this never-ending giant, the largest city, urban, in the world. Lots of skyscrapers, nothing too crazy. In the sort of middle from my side, the Tokyo Tower. And so, we're going outside. And guys, trust me, the last thing right now it is warm. Woo. We made it to the pool. This one actually in particular is the outdoor pool. And I gotta tell you, wow, you know, it's the simple things. It's these kind of places where there's nothing crazy about this pool. It's just absolutely flawless designed pool with a view of the Tokyo Tower, with a sauna that is super hot, one of the hottest I've ever walked in here out of nowhere. Already guess breakfast is served, and I'm not sure. Is that maybe a bit overboard, or is that just right? So this is the breakfast right now in the lounge, very similar, I would say, to downstairs, but I don't know. I mean, take a look. We got again the fruits, we got some this stuff. Then I was like, yeah, sure, let's do an avocado toast. Oh, you have Japanese breakfast? Yeah, I do have to try that. And of course, little omelet for the proteins and some more fruits and juice. And so, yeah. Let's say it like that. We're definitely gonna have a solid breakfast, as you see right now. Having the Japanese breakfast, and it's so nice. Have these like very subtle yet strong flavors, bit of meat, bit of fish, bit of rice, and a nice little miso soup. Wow, so good. The Fairmont Tokyo, and I would say as of right now, we're actually gonna be checking out, and all of these districts is super interesting. You look at them, so many tall buildings, some are still under construction, the boat passing through. If you just come to this area, I see there's a lot of different hotels, but here I think their bar is open in the evenings to the public, as well as the lobby here, because the view you can get here is quite something. And so for that has been the Tokyo Bay chapter. Give it a look. Not too much going on here. Nice, quiet little neighborhood. And you have this huge antenna in the back. But what we did found out here, okay, I just like Googled it up for a second. The reason there is no public trash cans in Japan is in 1995, there was let's call it, I cannot use the word, but an attack. YouTube, the funny YouTube is not gonna let me. And since then, basically, somebody hit some dangerous things in the trash can. And since then, there's pretty much no public trash cans in Japan for the most part. Some districts do have them here or there. 7-Eleven obviously has some kind of trash can. But other than that, because I was just in a public bathroom, and again, all I'm seeing is like a little trash bin on in the corner, kind of like the one you have in your bathroom at home, in the huge public toilet. And I'm like, what? Fun fact. Meanwhile, it seems like every week there's some kind of attack in Europe, but here, since '95, they've removed the trash bins. So yeah, very just residential, regular Japanese neighborhood. Of course, everywhere these machines, you know, it's always like, yeah, whatever. That neighborhood, I just was walking for, I would say, 15 minutes. I didn't even expect I'm gonna reach it that quickly. We are at the Sky Tree, and you can tell how absolutely humongous it is. 600 and something meters. And the thing is, yeah, the Burj Khalifa is 800 plus meters. Definitely a wider, but not that much. It's a very wide structure as well. So it has some type of observatorium, and unexpectedly, it looks like a full-fledged mall under it as well. So let's give it a look, what you find there. Here, and super nice and cozy. Look how cozy this looks. Okay, you cannot see, but it looks cozy. Winter is coming in Japan. So, big mall, Tokyo Salamachi, and the huge spire right there. Let's go give it a quick look, and then we're gonna call it a night for today, because every day I'm averaging 20,000 plus steps. It's good, but starting to get a bit tired. It's one of those cities where you can just keep walking forever. Wow, look at that. So they have a huge walk-in promenade all along the Sky Tree. Not too many people. A couple of people cycling. Basically, huge mall, mostly restaurants, couple of shops, and yeah, very modern. 2012, I think it was opened. Cool spot. I like the fact that they built so much around their tower. But that'll be it for tonight from the tallest antenna in the world. On a different note, we are just coming out of Tokyo Station. Wow, I've been told it's a nice spot. Seen a couple of pictures. So this one has been built in 1912, 14, something, a good bit over 100 years ago. And actually, through being here, we're also heading towards the Imperial Palace right now. Recording as of late November, and it's getting dark around 4 p.m. Right now it's 4 p.m. I was like, maybe sunset soon? Wow. So basically they actually built this station to be facing the Imperial Palace. Let's go see. And you know, here you really feel it. Like what I'm most curious about in Japan and in Tokyo, I haven't walked into the small side street yet. I would say we're doing the more modern part first. Is really how is the city structured. I'm much less interested to go like try matcha ice cream. We might though. And all of these things. I'm interested to see how is life in Tokyo. How does it feel to come and travel and visit here and just see a different way of living, a society that has been one of the most powerful ones economically that just exploded in the 1970s, 80s. I'm reading up a lot, even more deeper about it right now. And how for the past couple of decades is actually just like, you know, coasting. Not that much is happening in Japan in the last 20, 30 years, but what they have built thus far is pretty incredible. So let's go see where's the Imperial Palace. Past the water bridge, and we are in basically the outer garden of the Imperial Palace. It's quite crazy to imagine how this place was back in the day. You see some of the old little remains beautifully worked into the city of the times when the emperor used to live around here, or visit at least from Kyoto, which used to be the capital during the imperial times. And yeah, this one so far is kind of like the most impressive. Wide roads, wide streets area, very much a business district because and still you see these kind of like old taxis, a little bit retro. Here. We are in Ginza, another district and another one of these all across street crossings. I absolutely love them, to be honest with you. So this is, let's say, a more upscale shopping district. Like you see the kind of, you know, the Pradas, these type of brands. Very, very impressive architecture. Let's say more creative rather than impressive. All the buildings are kind of like mid-sized tall, maybe 50 meters, maybe pushing 100. And all of that is like shopping. Good amount of people, but much more laid back than like a Shibuya or something. So I haven't seen much more other than just fancy everything, including the cars. But one thing you have to say, seen a Ferrari, seen a Porsche, but it's always so far an old guy sitting in there, maybe with an old woman, a grandma, the generation that had it good. Good morning. I thought one thing I definitely have to do as well is just drive out a little bit of the city. As much as I'm excited about Tokyo itself, we're heading out in a day and a bit closer to the airport, like I don't know, like halfway basically. We're in a very local residential area. Narrow roads, couple of schools, couple of restaurants, of course, always a 7-Eleven. Okay, I think these guys are gonna be driving out right now. I think I'll walk away from the 7-Eleven sign, from the 7-Eleven shop. So let me give you a little bit of a walk, because that's what I was also so curious about. I'm much less interested to go to the main touristy temples as I am just to walk through a Japanese neighborhood where I maybe even get an eye or two for, I have not seen one tourist in this neighborhood, and I absolutely freaking love it. So 7-Eleven is life. I mean, nothing too crazy about it, other than the fact I still cannot get over the fact that every single shop has these little cheeky magazines. I guess some other countries have it as well. It's just here it pops into your eye. 7-Eleven experience, basically this, the biggest go-to, different noris, different also some kind of sushi they have here. In terms of pricing, it's actually not bad at all. Not like Thailand, cheap 7-Eleven, but good amount of their own products. I have to say, personally, I think it's very nice, but I'm not super impressed by the choice. It's very functional. You have some chicken breast. If you're first time in Asia, you're gonna absolutely love it. Me personally, probably prefer a little bit the Thai 7-Elevens. Here, some Japanese ice creams. Okay, let's get a little drink and let's get out of here. So we have some local old-timers. Honestly, people age here like you probably have heard about it. People get very old. You do see a lot of old people, and not that many young people. So it is a problem in Japan. And here, little energies. Like for example, in Thailand, you pay like maybe 30-40 cents for this one. This one's $1.50, so still very affordable. But we're in a different kind of economy. Pretty cool. Banana, acai jelly. So if you're a fan of grocery stores, and I certainly am, you're gonna absolutely love 7-Eleven. And while there's still printings, pick up one of these for the collection back at home for historical purposes and scientific research only, of course. Oh. Coca-Cola Plus, 0 sugar and some fiber, guaranteeing a slow death. So guys, we got a little drink. Ravens, perhaps. And I just saw one with like a really old house over there. Let me show you that. So basically small, little, everything is very compact. As you might imagine, they're saving on space. All the roads are very, very narrow, but super walkable. Like you have some of the streets that is kind of like Japanese city design. You have some roads that are more meant for cars, but everything else pretty much is a pedestrian pathway. So that's what I mean. Somebody doesn't quite feel like changing things up, or maybe doesn't have the resources. So you see somebody has rebuilt their house, looking super nice. Other houses are probably from like pushing 50 years plus, old metal, and all of that together in one neighborhood. Lots of bicycles, but you do have to say, even though it looks a bit cramped, it's very, very clean, maintained, quiet. Wow. So here, just like somebody's backyard. So another thing that is an absolute legend is obviously their little drink machine. This one actually also sells cigarette. Very common all over Japan. In the city they're a bit more fancy. Here this one's for the people. One's not working. The real deal. So this is how I expected it to be, actually much more residential, but considering you need to house somewhere these millions and millions of people, it's still extremely dense. There's not one square meter, I would say, going to waste. Little shop, something absolutely everywhere. So if you happen even to stay a bit outside of Tokyo, this is how it looks. Heading out tonight, in the middle of the night. So easy access to the airport. There's actually two in Tokyo. Well, that's interesting. I come around closer to the metro on the other side. It's actually crazy busy. Old kind of shops just opening up towards 11 or 12 it is even already. So life is still slow out here, and what I do, I just have to say I love it, is so many streets are pedestrian focused. So with that, nobody bats an eye for you walking on the middle of the street, because everybody does it on streets that are more or less just for pedestrians. And yeah, I love it. So, how to say it, like a little bit back in time, at the same time just a real life, no fluff. Funny, they have some kind of Gold's Gym, which looks a bit, let's say, not as golden maybe as perhaps it's supposed to be. And here, first time I'm in a proper Japanese grocery store. Wow, a big one as well. So for me, always the prime cultural experiences, seeing how the grocery stores look. Nothing too crazy, very large, fully stocked, lots of people. But nice to know, because in the city center you don't really run into randomly grocery stores, maybe in the bottom of a mall. Let's take a look if we find anything particularly interesting. Okay, you have some toilet powders, lots of self-checkout these days, obviously, like everywhere. So it is. That has been Tokyo. And so this has been almost a week in Tokyo, and I'm to Osaka. So sitting on a random yellow chair here in the central square of Namba, the most famous, I would say, district in Osaka. Speaking of Japan, I'm coming right now from Tokyo directly to here, and I'm quite curious to see what is the difference, what is going to be the contrast. I haven't seen anything yet. Just hopped out of the metro, made it to the main square yet, and the first feelings, the first vibes, even without having seen much of the city, it feels a bit more modern, a bit more youthful, a bit more, I don't know if it's the fact that I could pay with Apple Pay on my on my ticket, because Tokyo was an interesting mix. There's a full video out about it, but I'm gonna be here for a good 2-3 days. I want to take you on a little bit of a walk and give you an idea of how Osaka is. If you're planning to come to Japan, just Tokyo, will it be enough as a big city, or is Osaka worth it as well, or maybe even better? We are at the central Namba station right now. Looks super cool back there. Advertising truly Malaysia, tourism from Japan to Malaysia. That's interesting. And like I already mentioned, the very first impression of Osaka just from walking around here for 20 minutes. So a very long time ago, actually, I knew that Osaka was actually the capital of Japan. World War II, almost everything destroyed. And this city, from what I've just quickly read up a little bit, has been built back, let's say, faster, and is also known a little bit as a more innovative city, a city that adapts a bit quicker, and you feel it. Just walking here, I'm getting a little bit of a Union Station New York vibe. I think that's how you call it, the Central Station. It's kind of like these chairs outside in the area, fancy train station. I've always heard that Japan has very, very low immigration. Coming here, I'm surprised right away, and especially in Osaka, and then looking it up, in the last couple of years, actually, Japan necessarily, out of necessity, had to, I think, allow a couple of 100,000 people to move here. So you're seeing both, kind of like expats, tons of tourists, and it seems like also just like Japanese visiting from all over, because people are rolling around with suitcases. We made it. Looks like this is pretty much the main Namba bridge type of stuff you see all the time online. It is really, really cool. Gives you a little bit, big time actually, gives you Amsterdam vibes, some kind of country song music as always. The Japanese are dressing immaculately. You can hop on one of these boats on the side as you see, and big shopping district. Sun is slowly setting. I think once the lights are gonna come out, it's gonna be even more impressive. But yeah, it's best way to describe it is you are inside of a video game here. There's no other way to say it. Oh, and by the way, these are some capsules where people are sitting in there and they're rolling around. So I just wandered in to go to the bathroom real quick at one of these many malls, and then I'm like, wait a minute, it looks like a freaking casino. And I walk in, usually like big no filming in casino, and I look at it and they do play at some kind of slot machines, and there are some kind of girls in bikinis on the pictures. But I think it's not for money, or is it? Anybody knows? Is it gambling? What is it? That's basically how it looks. Crazy huge. I guess it's just playing. Just in some pretty random, not random, we're still in Namba in the center, side alleys. And this looks really quite a bit different. Not too narrow of streets, but super dense. Kind of like every single building, so many different labels. Yeah, it's fun. Maybe move here actually. I live a little bit outside of the city right now. So I was considering to do some shopping, but shopping paradise or shopping hell. In the evening it's number 2. So super busy. It also should be dark at this point. I think actually we're heading into that direction. Let's check it out. Excited for how it looks. But yeah, if you're afraid of crowds, damn, I thought on the weekend it might be busy, but nope, it's busy every day. What can I say, guys? The lights don't disappoint, but also it is how you would think it is. A huge photo session. If you have seen something on the internet, that probably means it's gonna be a huge photo trap, which it is. It looks super cool. I wonder how it looked before the big, let's say, tourism boom, because very hard to walk through it, pretty much impossible. There's a photo being taken on every single corner. I probably already walked through 10 of them. But yeah, it's like the shopping area here, a couple of boats passing through. Interesting. Inside the middle of the metro station, there is some kind of palm reading service. I suppose that's what it is. There's like a little drawing, something about the hand, and the girl sitting inside. So this has been the Namba district, just a little touch of it. Honestly, it's crazy. It's even busier than anything I've experienced in Tokyo. The crowds, super cool, iconic corner, but the shopping street itself is actually a bit more chill. So for now, heading back. I got 2-3 full days here, and I'm sure there's lots more to see. See you tomorrow. Good morning. Good morning from Osaka Central Station right now, and spontaneous decision to go to a different city. I'm gonna go on one of the fastest trains in the world right now. I think only some Chinese train is beating the Shinkansen Express. So what would take me an hour of driving, we should achieve right now in 10 minutes. I'm actually, as always, very tight on time. For a second I was never panicking, but slightly concerned. Let's say it like that. We have 10 more minutes. You pick up the tickets at the machine actually. You can book them online. So for a 10-minute drive right now, we pay $10. And so here we get a little view of how these trains look. So guys, I am like, where's my train? The departure is in 5 minutes. But the thing is, I think it's gonna arrive the minute, a couple of minutes before the departure. Train looks super, super cool, especially when they're driving. Still to this day, they look fairly futuristic, but you can tell just by a little bit the condition as well as the choice of font, if you will, that these trains have been hyper impressive. They have been the future 20 years ago, naturally, when they first started to roll out about that time. Still to this day, I think it is very impressive. Probably, I don't know, is it the best train in the world? Probably second best. Like not all Chinese trains are crazy, but they are building some things that I think these days, correct me if I'm wrong, fastest trains are in China, with a long time, let's say number one that has been Japan with their Shinkansen trains. So this will be the ride for today. A nice white train. Damn, from the front they look. So here are the control guys. Damn, no reserved?
Car number 1
No, thank you. Car number 1 and 2, easy peasy, breezy. Okay guys, I am having the peasant class, first peasant class. Numero uno, that's where I'm headed. Not sure if I just skipped the line savagely or what I did, but here we are with no seat space. It's gonna be just a 10-minute drive overall, so we're good. So one thing I can tell you, this might be the first time on a train where standing up is really not a good idea. You feel the buzz. It's like pretty much you're sitting in a nice and strong sports car that is just blowing you into the seat. Beautiful train. It like to give you a toilet tour. That is the question of the day. I shall. Okay, you're not pooping in that one. I mean, hopefully. Not in Japan.
Super Express bound for Tokyo. We will be stopping at Kyoto, Nagoya, Shinjuku.
The next station is approaching and we're cruising here at God knows what kind of speed. I'll look it up and let you know, but this is absolutely, like, probably the fastest train I've ever been on. Some guys checking the trash. Don't know what he's responsible for. Interesting. And just like that, we have arrived in Kyoto, one of the most famous, oldest cities in Japan. I'm here for a very special reason, spontaneously, like you see. One thing I have to mention is people are lining up here in front of the trains, and I saw a big line in front of mine wagon, and I didn't want to be the, you know, the asshole who just like passes through. I'm trying to ask all the people in line, are you waiting? I'm like making sign language, pointing, da-da-da-da. Most people didn't look at me, they just ignored me, and like one or two men just looked, and nobody, yes, no. So like, I've already had a feeling. Whenever you're in Japan just walking around, you're never gonna catch anybody even looking at you, maybe if you're filming. Very anonymous society and probably quite hard. It's the language barrier for sure. It's an observation. Don't take it personal, obviously. Or maybe it is personal. They were like, quickly like that, we just got off. The train is about to depart, and this guy's gonna make sure it's gonna happen. Off he goes to Tokyo. It's gonna be in Tokyo in 2 hours. Can you believe it? It's like a 6-hour drive. In Osaka, they told me put in both tickets. I first put in one. Now I realize I had to keep one. Now I cannot get out without having the second ticket. I should have picked it up after I put it into the machine. So let's figure it out. They're not letting me out here. Both. So I left them at the Osaka station. Now I'm told that I need to have one ticket to exit. What should I do? Please help me. Okay guys, this might have been the funniest interaction. This guy was the most non-reactive person I've ever told to talk to. He was just like, barely, even less than that. So let's see. I got one though at the end. I had to convince him, I had to really, okay, this dude is also scamming something. I had to really convince him deeply that I am not one of those YouTubers who tries to get the Shinkansen for free. Harmless misunderstanding, but you really feel like everything is here by the book. This guy downstairs, he's like, you're not going anywhere without the ticket, without the exit ticket. And we're back, like we're never left. Oh wow, is this the famous musician? How's it going? Good to see you. Japanese local here. Wanna be in a bit? So, old friend from back. So let me take you along a little bit of Kyoto, just a little side quest, little side mission. Kyoto. How is it? Kyoto. So we got a Japanese lover on our hand. Getting a Japanese wife and then moving to Kyoto, I heard. No, but you said you like it a lot here, right?
Yeah, I like it a lot, but again, not to live. But it's
if you compare it to what? To Amsterdam, right?
yeah, no, I'd maybe prefer living in Amsterdam, but like, let's say like if you have parents who don't like to travel, and you as a son have been like you, like in Korea, in Japan, China, and you want to get them out to go to travel, Japan is the place to recommend, because Korea, there's basically nothing to see.
Yeah, for sure. It's like super easy, super smooth travel experience. Nice, clean, nobody's gonna rob you, stab you. It's not Europe, right?
No, it's not.
There is its benefits, but we were just debating. I was telling Zasha, by the way, how in many ways Japan is kind of like very old school these days. Like this is how I feel it. If you compare it to Korea, I agree, is a little bit boring, more modern. Whereas like if you compare it to anything, even compared to Bangkok, like the people still do their things how they did it 30 years ago in many ways, especially the old timers, which has its charm. Opa. I'll grab one. Look at that, guys. Japanese donuts going wild and looking pretty good. I thought it's just sweet stuff, but they even have not sweet. Around, how much are they? $2 a piece. Pretty dope. Compared to Amsterdam, I'm sure.
Yeah,
You say price is good, huh?
Yeah, man, it's compared to Amsterdam. It's
Yeah, overall, I would say, somewhat surprisingly, Japan is not that expensive.
yes.
It's cheaper than Europe. Cheaper all, across the board, pretty much everything.
And better quality,
Oh,
food-wise.
bro, I forgot how bad it is. I'm like, it
Like,
is
when have you been last time?
properly Europe. I mean, I was in Rome for a couple of days. Other than that, our donuts are coming. Look at that, guys. Japanese crafts, woman and manship. I don't know who's behind the counter.
Problem.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I don't care.
14,
How are the donuts?
13, good man. Nothing special.
No, nothing special. To be honest.
I'm like, I'm fucking pushing 30, I'm not gonna waste fucking money. Like, level-wise, it's not the best. Poison, bro.
Committed to this and that, and
Create and things, which is good, man. I like it as well. But I like
until
So on a little stroll, honestly, going super local, gonna go right now to some famous niche little restaurant for Japanese burgers. We'll see, they're gonna take my money. And here, one of many palaces that you pass through. I think this one's one of the most famous one. The Nijo castles, often, from what I understand, visited by the emperor. Tried to get some more info, but Kyoto. Nijo Castle, yes.
What?
Somebody used to live here, or? I think we have it there, huh? I'll read. Okay, 1603. That's old, man. 1603.
Katsudon? What is this?
Sorry.
No, curry, this kind of
I
stuff.
think I had that for dinner yesterday.
Yeah.
Very good.
It's good. Do you know Hunter x Hunter?
I don't read.
You don't watch anime?
We're walking in. I choose just one, or what do you recommend?
Cheddar.
Cheddar, you recommend? Yeah, we'll do that.
Rice.
But it's you don't have normal fries?
Wagyu burger. You know, it's one of those restaurants, very local, in a little Japanese side alley. Not too expensive, actually. I think around 15 bucks, something like that for the burger. Fries on the side. Yep, one of the best burgers, eh?
And make like all of those cold.
Here, please. And now making.
You want to go to karaoke?
They made you into a goblin. They made you into a goblin?
They make me eat banana.
Oh, one for me?
Yes.
Oh wow, I'm also like this. The hell? Wow. I think they're gonna, like, you know, put on the internet stupid tourists.
And then we're gonna be yes, stupid tourists, no? You never can tell.
Best friend?
Huh?
Best friend?
We're friends? Yeah, we're friends.
Best friend?
We know each other from what, 15 years?
16
Yeah.
How old are you?
What do you think?
What do you think? How old are we?
21.
21?
21, yes. 18.
Stop! No, lie. Liar. Liar.
No, but how old is he, you think?
How old?
21. Beer.
21.
21.
I am
How old are you?
21.
I'm turning I'm 30 right now.
Yay, what's up, bro? What's your name?
Hey, Daiki.
Daiki, good to meet you, Daiki. Hey, I don't know what is going on, but people in Japan are warming up when you're around.
Yes, brother, I told you, you gotta give it a chance. You gotta change it up.
Like
Spice it up.
one thing I've noticed, just being in Tokyo for last week, you almost never even get an eye contact. People are very polite, very discreet. So I almost thought, like, it's gonna be hard to, like, approach somebody.
Yeah.
To be fair, they approached us more, like they were, like, taking funny selfies. But yeah, some girls in the cafe, and now maybe I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the evening, maybe weekend's approaching. But yeah, I think in the karaoke bar next time. Bro, it was good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, man.
Woo, let's rock out. Oh, my friend. Nice. He's buzzing a little bit. Old dude buzzing, music loud. Woo! And so this has been a little bit of a dip into Kyoto. It was great to see my old friend. We knew each other for probably 15 years, if not even more at this point. After high school, he actually became a professional musician, has been working for that all his life. He's playing in the main orchestra of the Netherlands, touring the world. Pretty cool. Last minute, he texted me, and we got to Kyoto. I keep saying it wrong. As of right now, on the way back to Osaka, on actually one of the local trains, and they're absolutely beautiful, perfectly maintained. And we're back in Osaka, just like that. It's actually right now already a bit of a sunset. I got 2 more days left here. Just moved to a bit of a cheaper place in a different neighborhood, in a neighborhood that I wanted to check out and show you and make it easy for myself. And also, there's a, I was sitting there doing some work, there's this sumo ringing on the screen going on. Another uniquely Japanese sport, let's say it like that. So let me show you, I think another one of the most famous spots in Osaka. I'm quite excited for it. Always like to see unique buildings. Here's some kind of wall, mural, art, graffiti. And so I can quite confidently say this neighborhood here is truly a very different vibe. Here we are in the neighborhood of the Tsutenkaku. I'm pretty sure that's not how you pronounce it, but that's how it reads, of Osaka. I'm sure if you have seen anything of Osaka, it's probably a fairly familiar visual. Basically, it's an observatorium, but the coolest thing about it is it's kind of like a little tower. Looks like it has been built a while ago with super cool lighting, but when you look through the little narrow side alleys, that's where it really shines. And this neighborhood so far, actually, I gotta tell you, here, pretty touristy, pretty busy, but if you just go out a little bit out of here, I like it. It's a bit grungy, it's a bit rough around the edges. Unfortunately, to be honest, like I don't want to film it, but there is a good amount of homelessness, especially in some neighborhoods. In Osaka, I've seen it quite a lot, but this is the line to get up to the observatorium. Probably can look around. I think Osaka doesn't have like the biggest skyline. There's a couple of buildings in the Umeda central, one of the central stations. I might take you there as well. So yeah, wanted to come out here, wanted to take a look, check out this car. Japanese at its finest, I would call it. And shortly after, I would say, let's also check out one of these restaurants here. So I'm sure if you're in Osaka, you're not gonna miss this spot. But me, as for my part, I've seen like a couple of local neighborhoods in Tokyo, seen Kyoto yesterday was quite a bit different. But here in Osaka right now, it's a bit of, yeah, a bit more, you know, rough around the edges. That's kind of what I mean. You walk out of this busy area back there, come out here, and you are on street where there's not one soul. I just seen a cat running by. And I would say another absolute prime example of how Japan sometimes feels like time traveling. Oh, hey there. You catch me in an interesting place. One of my favorite whenever traveling. You know, I absolutely love checking out grocery stores, especially in countries that are quite different and new to me. So I'm staying actually in Tokyo Bay in terms of big hotels. I wanted to have like a nice place to recover. Most hotels in Japan, unless you pay crazy, the rooms are pretty small. And I'm in the grocery store, and I have to tell you, the family marts are okay, but I didn't thought they're that much fun, like not that much variety. And over here, super nice local grocery store. I saw there's some like schools around here. Mostly you see local are living here. You have all kinds of these like little foods, and the prices are totally all right. Like this is less than $2. I got myself some kind of sushi, some kind of fried fish, and all of that. Surprisingly, I have to tell you, very reasonably priced. Like an interesting jellies. Let me try one of these. Which one am I gonna get? The mineral jelly, I think this one. They also have the protein jelly, but I have enough protein. Tokyo content that I have shot has been very like highlights, big busy areas. And in Osaka, I'm just for a couple of days, and I'm even more curious to see a little bit more, kind of like, how is life in Japan? I'm a huge fan of crab stick, if it's good crab stick. It's kind of basically just fish, it's not crab, obviously. Let's try it, Japanese one. Whoop. If you decide to live the nomad life in Japan, that would be grocery shopping. And also, I've realized that my favorite all-time snack is Japanese. I wasn't even aware of that. It's basically these soy crackers. I think they're baked. Where are they? They're so good. And also, I've almost walked 30,000 steps today. In the morning I was in the gym, and then this is not exactly the one I was looking for, but basically soy rice crackers. I know rice cracker sounds super boring, but this one's actually delicious. I don't know how they do it, but it's not like oily or anything. Delicious. So guys, in terms of dessert, they're also absolutely not playing around. Did you grow up drinking Yakult? I did. Japanese. And the music here is giving me an absolute mental breakdown, but other than that, it's lovely.
2517円いただきます。角
Visa.
ここ。OK。
Guys, I'm not quite sure how, but this somehow turned into an absolute grocery haul. I got a bunch of Japanese stuff. Let's get to the hotel, I'll show you. Living a little bit the local Japanese life. And so with that, the grocery store, super chill. Prices are even great, which is surprising. I thought the level of groceries overall is more expensive. So let's get to the hotel and let me show you what I bought. That's the place. Big, kind of like a conference hotel, I would say. Can't recommend it for vacation, but for me, it's pretty perfect. Alrighty, I wish I could slam this on the table right now, but super nice little working area here. Let's see, living the Japan life. Like I said, we have these soy crackers, my absolute favorite, one of the best snacks out there. We got a little bit of sushi. We got some kind of fried fish. And then we got a big stack of sushi. And look guys, in Japan, gotta go to a proper sushi place. Let's just quickly, I'm curious, how is it in a grocery store? What are the prices? I'm sure it's not too bad. Picked up some kind of little meal. Another, this, chopsticks, yeah. Some bananas, some kind of vitamin thing, and a bunch of wasabi and soy sauce. So that's all, and wait. Main point is all of that came out to 2,600 yen, which I would estimate roughly, what is it, $14? $16. Pretty good, great value, grocery store in Japan. Looks like that. Guys, I'm not lying. You might see it in my face. Japan travel has been a bit intense. Today, I managed to get 30,000 steps. I would say, good night. Guys, for the first time I'm in like a funnel and I see I think I start to understand why everybody on the streets is so anxious and so crazy and happy to be here.
The next station is Tokyo.
You know, the sad truth is, Japan is dying. On the roofs of Japan, I want to give you my honest impression. For 2 weeks I've traveled through the country, and honestly I did not expect for Japan to stimulate me as hard as it did. In many ways I think it's super overrated, super overhyped. A lot of people have a very wrong perception, and some things, I don't know, you might not agree with. If you are an expert, let me know down in the description. Maybe I'm seeing something wrong. I've always been fascinated by Japan's culture, the land of the rising sun. It was, at some point, believed to become the strongest economy in the world. You know, in something like 1980 something, I think, 6 out of 10 companies, biggest companies in the world, were Japanese. And don't get me wrong, Japan was one of the favorite countries I have visited in many, many years, but more from a perspective of kind of like being a fly on the wall, just being in the environment, being in the country, being able to observe. It has been one of the wealthiest countries for such a long time, but now they're facing huge issues that in many ways are around the corner for pretty much every developed society that has been around for many, many decades. If you want a super precise economical, cultural analysis, this is not the video for you. This is just some thoughts from a guy that for almost 10 years has been living around the world. And one of my main curiosities is really, how is life in different parts of the world? Where are different countries going? Which countries or parts of the world are on their way up, and you can see it and you can feel it? Which countries are, in many ways like Japan, are trying to conserve as best as they can this beautiful, amazing place that has been a cultural and economical powerhouse for so long. All of that, today I need to climb down here. It's kind of like a smoking area. I think I'm allowed to be up here, I hope so. Pretty sure. In Japan, you should not mess with the law, I'm telling you that. Oh, so some guys earlier smoking up there. It's a little bit of a fun area. We're overlooking Osaka right now. This is actually the famous observatory. I would say let's head there. Super cool area. Let's talk. Let's keep it casual. As if you're a buddy of mine and I'm telling you how Japan really was quite a bit different than I thought it would be. Let's rock. We got a couple of hours. Once again, the little disclaimer. I think Japan is amazing. It's fascinating. And of course, it's absolutely, no doubt about it, worth visiting. Well, and you might think, well, so what? They still like their cash. Some countries are like that, even if they're really developed, very wealthy. Like the Germans still like tons of places. You want to get some ice cream without cash? There's no ice cream for you. That doesn't mean, you know, the future hasn't arrived, the present. Me personally, I actually like the idea of cash. The idea of every single transaction you ever make, people knowing what you're buying. I don't mind, I'm not buying anything, but no, the thing is, a lot of business, especially mid-level business, like let's say the backbone of every society that is not completely dominated by global conglomerates, is family business, even if it's big family business and small one. And what you see in Japan is that some businesses are still running the same way they used to many, many decades ago, and many of them are closing down. Instead of talking about it, maybe let me show you. I've seen a couple of those here, a lot. Old man should teach the youngsters how to dress like a real G. I would love to be able to speak the language to hear those stories the man has to tell. Partnering up with Level 8, we're rolling over all kinds of terrain, as always, with my favorite suitcases from Level 8. Heading to the airport right now. This one here is the Adventurer suitcase. What's really cool about it is it's extendable. I like to stay carry-on only, but sometimes it gets a bit busy. The quality is super. The wheels roll smooth like butter, even over like here cobblestone a little bit. And yeah, as of right now, you can get 12% off any of their suitcases. They do worldwide shipping, no matter where you are. It's free to US, UK, Europe, and Canada, I think, something like that. But after all, I've had like 3-4 of the different models. Check out their website. Of course, also they have checked luggage, and some are just absolutely beautiful. Others are super functional. This is the one I'm sticking with for right now. So yeah, it will be the first link in the description. The kids are protected like a golden egg. Yeah. You see, in the 1960s, 70s, was a thing that was called the post-war miracle. Japan's economy didn't just recover, it got out of control to an extent where it was about to overtake the US as the #1 economy. That was a prediction at some point. And for a very long time, it has been #2. I think just recently they dropped down to 3rd, behind Germany. And during that golden era, that's where, let's say, the identity, however you want to call it, some of the people that started businesses are still alive to this day. They're going to be very old. I think this is a perfect example to drive the point home. Yesterday, when I walked by this place, I honestly couldn't believe it. And the promotional material is current, but it looks like it's from the 1970s or 80s. And I started to see more and more of these type of businesses all around, be it Tokyo, be it Osaka. We have a nice Toshiba screen. Let's come closer, let me give you a look. And I was wondering, what is going on? Why is there so much stuff that, like, yeah, some European countries look a bit old school, but that is just a bit extra. And it's not like a rare find here and there. It's more of the norm. Let's walk in, let's see. So this is like a building entrance. I might be actually wrong. Maybe they're just renting their units. I don't speak Japanese, but heck, I'll show you more. Trust me, we're just gonna walk down the street. We need to go to the airport in a couple of hours. And there's so many things on my mind that I just wanna share with you. The fact is that I've seen so many super old style businesses, and I started to wonder, how is that possible? First of all, I cannot get around without cash, which I'm personally like, whatever, it's fine, beautiful deals, you know? Next thing, I'm seeing so many businesses that just are some of the most old school looking, beautiful places from a tourism perspective. It's so cool. And then I started digging in, doing a bit of research, and I'm starting to realize that it is actually a huge problem in Japan. The thing that, especially traditionally, like in so many societies, especially middle-level businesses being handed down to the family, to the eldest son, or whatever it may be, or to anybody really at this point. I think these days, on the one side, a lot of children don't really want to do their parents' business. If it's something small, if it's manual, if it's in a small town, understandable. On the other side, what is a big also factor is that the old-timers that have started the businesses, that have built it with their blood and sweat and have turned it into a success in their time, they don't really want to let their children run it. If they want to do it different, if they want to modernize somehow, then they would rather just close the business down. And it's a big problem. Mid-level business is disappearing, which is a huge chunk of the Japanese economy, which is shrinking more and more. And then on the other hand, it's also, then I've listened that even big companies, they still use like very old school ways of communicating, be it through fax, be it using old style Japanese stamp, which is cool, but can be super inefficient in a time where people just, obviously for a long time, do email, or even just things take seconds that in Japan might take days to this day. And that quite shocked me to hear. But of course, I'm not an economist, and I'm not claiming to be or have the answers. Even economists fail all the time to predict what's going to happen in the future. At the end, I'll share with you just my thoughts in general. I'm sharing more the observation that so many things are beautifully old school in Japan. It feels like time travel in many ways. And the more modern areas, they are building some. I think they're supposed to build another huge skyscraper in Tokyo right now in the works. So things are happening, but basically what happened after this golden era, there was a thing called the lost decade. And what happened there and how mentality shifted, you feel to this day. But this type of stuff I love to see wherever I am. Like a fruit stand needs no innovation. It's perfect the way it is and forever will be. Oh my God, this is so nice. Fully stocked, beautiful. We're right now in the persimmon season. Honestly, I was freaking out a little bit when I was recording that. There was a car driving by like so close. I am on the boardwalk. That is another thing. Just an interesting thing, I would say. The infrastructure of Japan is truly one of the best and most built, I would say, for humans. Super walkable, pretty much no matter where you are in the city, even in the suburbs, you don't get this kind of like American style. You get a Walmart, and without the car you cannot go anywhere. No, it's walkable pretty much everywhere you go. With that, the streets can be super narrow. So when it gets busy, it's actually super hard to, like, it can get crowded and a little bit claustrophobic easily. But nonetheless, like a lot of paths where they have also roofs, and most roads are actually considered pedestrian. The roads are built in a way that only cars that are actually going to the destination itself are entering. Also here, like a little, it's already the second huge groups of kids. You don't see that too often because most people, not most, but a percentage of old people you're not gonna see anywhere in the world. And I was in some ways surprised how that was just catching my eye. You see, maybe you've heard of demographic problems, basically an aging population. A lot of people have heard about it. Some people to this day, they're operating on some like old school theories of overpopulation, that there's gonna be too many people in the world, da 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 da. But the reality is the planet, first of all, can hold much more people, and second of all, we're struggling with, yes, the population has ballooned very quickly with industrialization and everything. I don't wanna like sound too smarty-marty. Again, that's just like things I sometimes think about. This peach water is amazing. But what happens is that when a population is aging, it can completely break the system. It's not just like, okay, people get old and then they die and then there's just less people, maybe less problems for the environment, less trash, less everything. Sounds great, right? The thing is that if you have a generation that, let's say, doesn't have enough young people to support it, doesn't have enough young people that are living in the country, that are contributing to the system that they happen to live in. We're right now in a more touristy district. I would say, let's get out of here. This is the observatorium. I'm trying to talk all serious, but I've heard you can get some of the best views from this tower, because with every year, it's like pretty much every, let's say, couple of minutes, there's 4 people that die and 1 person that's being born. And with that, the prediction is that by 2050, Japan's population is gonna shrink by 1/4. And what that's gonna cause is nothing will be able to run. Hospitals will not be able to run, rent will not be able to be paid. And that is a problem that is lurking around the corner for Europe in many ways. And South Korea actually has an even worse birth rate, one of the worst in the world. You know, obviously countries like, also most people don't know it. You know, a country like Ukraine obviously has also some of the lowest birth rate. Actually, my roots, there's also a war going on right now, so that's a bit of a different topic. But just walking around the streets, I was surprised that some neighborhoods, I stayed in some a bit more local neighborhoods in Tokyo, and literally I saw hundreds and hundreds of people, and they were all for sure over 70. It's hard to say. Some of them are easily 90, because of this great wealth and this great system that they have built. It's so clean, it's so, like, even this is kind of like considered a super local as it gets neighborhood. Still, it's perfectly comfy. Let me maybe, in this quiet side road that we are, When I was in South Korea, I didn't notice it as much. Sure, there's old people everywhere, and I love them, especially in some countries. They have like the best fashion, like I showed you before. But the thing in Japan is that this has been going on for decades and decades. Whereas in South Korea, it went down maybe in the last couple of years to the super low critical level that it's now, where you're thinking, what the hell is going to happen in 20 years? Need you do something about it? Well, in Japan, it has been 30 years. And especially this year, 2025, as I'm shooting, is considered a breaking point. And with that, a lot of things in the countries have changed. Let's talk about that as well. Art gallery? Yeah? Is it okay if I take a little video? No? You don't understand? Okay.
Japanese speak.
Arigato. Beautiful art gallery. Fashionable for Japanese standard. Very young people running it. And that I have to say, I absolutely love it. This is a little bit more of an artistic neighborhood here. They're having like little shops from little, this looks like a candle shop, a specialized candle shop. I'm lowering my voice a little bit, not to yell in front of the grandma. That is the effects of over-tourism I'll talk to you about as well. Seriously, I'm doing this like super serious video, guys. If you're new here by any chance, usually I document my life, but those are the thoughts and let's say certain analysis that's going through my head, and I am super welcoming you to contribute and also to correct me on any things I might misunderstood or misinterpreted, or I'm off. Maybe, who knows, maybe there is a baby boom and the economy is also booming like crazy. I'm just not aware of it. I got the old news of overpopulation, and that's the biggest problem. Because the problem is really that like humanity could be dying in a diaper, because it seems like every developed society, at some point we were thinking, well, maybe it's just like in Asian countries. And that is the thing. You see exactly the same thing happening in Europe slowly, but you don't see it on the surface yet materializing it in that way. And with that, pretty much all also of innovation, any type of research, any type of patents, anything that drives the country forward, especially a country that is not based on like resources or something, that leads, it's kind of like a circle. It's the, what is it called? Something like, you get the idea. More people dying, less people being born, the whole system doesn't work as well, all of production and innovation doesn't work as well. And then there's also kind of like this other factor. Actually, yesterday, this was another business. This was, oh no, that is the one. The most old school, the most moody tobacco shop I have ever seen. There's actually quite many of them, especially at nights when the neon comes on and everything lights up. I think it's not even open right now. Basically, you want to imagine Japan in the 1970s. Well, there you have it. Do you speak English?
Yeah.
You do? Can I ask you maybe a question?
Yeah, sure.
For the video? I'm just wondering, I've noticed that, I've heard that immigration to Japan is a lot higher right now. Do you think that's right? Because there is the perception that like 10 years ago was very low immigration. And because people are getting like a lot older, you moved here recently or you're born here?
No, I'm from Nepal.
No, Nepal, wow. Yeah. I've been to Nepal last year. Kathmandu or?
Kathmandu, no, I'm apart from there.
Apart from there. All right, it was great meeting you. What was your name?
Suraj.
Suraj, I'm Danny. Great. You work in a restaurant or?
Yeah, I'm working in
Is it Japanese or Nepali?
Nepali restaurant.
Oh, wow, that
Indian
sounds
Nepali
pretty good. Is it close by?
It's just around the
Maybe I could walk with you for a bit?
Yes.
Wow, I think I saw it yesterday. That's cool. But you got an India flag as well. It's
It's Indian and Nepali restaurant.
Indian and Nepalese. Let's take a look, guys. That's pretty cool, actually. Nepal was actually one of my favorite countries recently. Are you making momos as well?
Yeah, momos.
Wow, guys. So we're right by the observatorium. If you're looking for some good momos, pretty sure it's gonna be good here, right? Thank you, guys. Thank you. And even you got some Bollywood buzzing. All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, man. Thank you. And with that, we're already getting into the topic of, well, what can you do about it? You know, it's easy to say, like, hey, guys, you just need more babies. It's kind of like, just a couple of years ago, it was almost a very politically incorrect conversation to have. Because the reality of the world is sometimes a bit harsh in a way that when the economy becomes very developed, you have to look at both sides, and that's what I'm always find so fascinating. On the one side, when the costs go up, inflation goes up, times where, like, let's say one person in the family can work and everything is good are rare, and in most countries don't even exist. So usually both man and woman have to work, and a one-income household is unsustainable in most, especially like really societies that have been around for a long time and experienced a lot of growth. And then for women, it's kind of like, hey, if you want to have a career, if you want to make decent money, good money, well, starting a family can be very, take a lot of your years away. For many people, that is just absolutely the case. Also, the cost of raising children. And so you see that in all kind of like developed society, somehow you would think if they get wealthy and rich, more people would have babies. But the opposite is happening, actually. And Japan has done so much. Literally, the government literally set up dating apps to encourage people to meet, start families. All kinds of European societies, like especially like, let's say Poland or Hungary, they're pushing real hard, especially Hungary, giving you a bunch of extra money. And that maybe is helping somewhere, somehow. But in Japan, honestly, nothing has really worked so far. And in that way, it's of course, as always, a double-edged sword. Or in this sense, a double-edged katana. I feel like it mirrors very much also what is going on in the Western world. There is also a certain polarization between the sexes where a lot of women feel like men don't understand them, and a lot of men feel like women don't understand them. And we have gone through a lot of corrections in society that I think were necessary in many ways. But we get to a place where for women, it doesn't really make sense economically often to start a family. And for men, there is no possibility to do so because they cannot provide. And the reality is that even though you can say, hey, it's old gender norms, somehow Japan is still there. And as much as you want to move away, and who knows, maybe we can get to a society where it absolutely doesn't matter. But in terms of polling data, even what people consciously say, economical, it's not like I want to be with a rich guy. It's just economical viability. If you happen to start a family, can the man back you up financially? And polling data, obviously, but you can just rational thinking. A lot of men feel like they cannot quite afford it. And a lot of women feel like they want to be with a man that is like on a similar level or preferably a good bit above, that when they take the time off, they know that somebody can take care of the family. And in a society where you need the two incomes, and even that might be limited, you get to a place where people are just choosing to push it back further and further, or like in this case, just not have any kids at all. You're dealing with this kind of social issues where there's a lot of pressure to perform from society, from your family. When you struggle to find a girlfriend and boyfriend, well, depending on the society, there's different, definitely not solutions, but let's say outcomes you had. If you're from Eastern Europe, then alcoholism is number one solution for everything. Well, in Japan, it more leads to reclusion and hiding away from society. And that became a phenomenon called the hikikomori. The hikikomori. You see, especially it became a phenomenon that was fairly prevalent after kind of like the golden era came to an end. Like I mentioned, there was also an oil crisis, and a lot of young people, I think statistically definitely more boys, but also some girls, usually happened in the late teens, complete social withdrawal. Some might still go out, I don't know, maybe get some food, maybe get some magazine, especially when it started back in the day. But it ended up with a large amount. We're speaking, I don't know, thousands, tens of thousands, just stay at home all day long. Their parents just support them and they don't want to participate in life. It feels like too much pressure. It's also hard to say exactly what the reasons were for the individual, because usually they also don't really want to talk about it. And it's a phenomenon that you even also see happening in similar economies where it's hard, first of all, to move out socioeconomically. When you think about, I don't know, getting a girlfriend or a boyfriend, you just don't see hope for yourself and you just completely become a reclusive. You put yourself basically into home exile, and you live like that for decades with often never talking to anybody and having minimal social connection through the internet. So that was kind of like the mix. You get the minimal necessary social interaction to survive in this world, because we as humans just need it, by being online, maybe playing some game, chat rooms. And it is a thing that obviously has been just not possible in human history, because you just need to go out, you need to make sure you eat. But in a society where somehow economically it becomes possible, where your parents take of you, you just get your food, you just lock yourself up at home all the time. For some people it happens when they maybe failed some exams or lost a job. Usually happens at a younger age. And then they get 30, 40, 50. And it is a significant percentage, and especially a big thing in Japan. Just fascinating thing. And also I've heard, you see some of them of that in Italy. It's too expensive to move out. You have a strong still family bond. You stay at home. And while back in the day you might say like, oh, you live with your mom, you start to understand that society, when it becomes so developed, it often has side effects. I'm in a phone box right now. This one is actually not the oldest one I've seen. On some stations in Tokyo, I've seen such old phones that are still operational, but obviously many countries have that. Like right by a street, I'm like, hey, it's a cool idea. It's nice and quiet there. Oh yeah, some tourists cruising through. Woo! In Tokyo, you see that every 5 minutes in a couple of neighborhoods. Every 1 minute. Let's talk about tourism in Japan. Everything kind of how I expected. It's massive. Let's get back to the usual more topic where I talk about staying in the country, how is it, what are the pros, what are the cons. And in that way also it was quite interesting. In some ways, Japan has positively surprised me. It's not nearly as expensive as I thought, because also the currency is down for quite a while. It's at a low where it hasn't been in a long time. And with that, it becomes much more affordable for a lot of people from all over the world to visit. And that's exactly what happened. And well, let's talk about tourism. I knew that Japan is popular, but what I didn't realize is that the fact that it's in front of everybody's eyes, mine included, is not just like, hey, I found a niche. Tourism to Japan is at an all-time high right now. Just in the first couple of months of 2025, all-time records have been broken. Something like 30, 40 higher % arrivals in March this year, I think, than the previous year, and higher than pre-COVID even. I hope you're enjoying these tripod shots. I'm like being a menace to society here. So on the one side, of course, it's fantastic for the economy, get the yens rolling. Nobody's gonna complain about that part of it. But on the other side, in terms of infrastructure, especially to the big cities of Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, you get millions of people flocking in, and the roads are narrow. It's built for a certain amount of people, and that is an issue. And the other one is also, of course, like how locals feel about it when their local streets are just absolutely flooded with people running around with their cameras and tripods, and it's a factor. Just for me personally, I have to say, because of this super high tourism, you know, I'm living around the world, and I am just, I'm not a tourist, like in the sense of places that usually have a lot of people coming, there's a bit of an anxious energy in the air. It's just like people are so excited to be there. You see their eyes glowing, which if you are also just going for a trip, and like it's a vibe, it's a buzz, but it's a high energy environment. For me personally, when I walk through like right now, a bit more of a touristy area, this one's still super calm. generally around this observatory is a little bit of an old school area. It can get so crazy busy. It's like a mass event, really. It's like a festival, basically. You're neck to neck, back to back. Do you say that? But for that it was a little bit just something to keep in mind. You know, it's kind of like in Europe. In the peak seasons in Rome, it's just going to be an open air event. But what I do have to say is that truly, I don't know if it's just the currency being lower, I didn't find Japan to be that expensive. I would say across the board, it's more affordable than traveling Europe. Like food, I don't know, like more local restaurants, anywhere for like $6 to $10, maybe $15 for a decent meal, depending where you go. Things like just little markets. And also I stayed in some a little bit more local areas. Grocery stores are actually priced pretty nicely as of right now. If the currency would be like 30-40% stronger as it used to be, it would be a bit more expensive than Europe. So I don't know what I should recommend you. If you have never been, if you want to go, who am I to tell you? It's so busy. I'm here, I'm part of the busyness. So from that perspective, it's just something to keep in mind that many destinations, me personally, in Asia, like even like a country like Thailand, which has some of the highest tourism in the world, if you stay out of like the tourist traps, I can genuinely call them, some in Thailand, and you go to also busy areas, they're full of people, but the energy is more day to day. People go about their daily life, and you get that in Japan a lot as well, but at all the main areas, like I'm talking city center of most cities, but especially areas like a Shibuya crossing or something, it's just thousands and thousands of selfies and tripods and everything. And I think for a lot of people I hear, it is a little bit of a, how to say it, especially if you travel to countries that just are a little bit more chill, like the dude I talked to before, Kathmandu, good amount of tourism, Nepal, but it still has so much character, so much flavor. You kind of can be much more just a fly on the wall who is observing, who's taking in the much more of a travel rather than a tourist experience. Nonetheless, like I said, let me actually give you now my honest thoughts. This was a bit more of a, whoever is gonna ever title again, Japan is living in 2050. You guys just passing some kind of local restaurant, I would say it would be a good idea to eat something. And here in Osaka is much more like visa, everything accepted. It was more of a Tokyo thing for whatever reason. So these machines are super common. I actually quite like it. You have all the pictures, even English in most. What do we want? Guys, like it's really simple. But somehow a lot of places don't have it. Didn't you give this one to you? No? So guys, look at that. This place is actually surprisingly extra affordable right now. I think for all of that I paid a bit over $5. Wow. We're a bit local, we're a bit in the side streets. Love it. This is surprisingly extremely good. Thought it would be just basic. Look at that, guys. We spotted another level 8. Look how smooth. Good one. Check luggage. That's funny, guys. We started off our video on this roof there. We're heading out. Cannot get over the fact how many different trains they have. And they're all of them are really beautiful. Some are newer than others. So, like I mentioned before, we're heading to the airport. We're Gonna be flying out, and that have been a little bit the reflections. Basically, just on the fact how fascinating it is. So far, Japan is different from any other country I've visited. I have not stayed enough time in South Korea to feel it a little bit more, but here, like, you feel it even between the lines. Like, you know, it's such an evolved economy. In some ways, stuck in its old ways. Like, you even notice that the small things, like checking in the hotel, they cannot give you change in a bill, even if you offer to give them coins or something like that. If you're just 5 minutes before the check-in time, you cannot do the check-in. Those are kind of like some of the experiences I've made. And I'm sure many hotels are super chill. It's all just like subjective little moments. But to not let it get across to you in any negative way, I think in terms of a travel destination, especially if you want it to be comfy, organized, everything is pretty streamlined, everything is easy to understand. You pay either with Visa or credit. In some ways, it's not that different from, for example, traveling Europe. And with all its pros and cons, this is my train right now. And also, I don't think Japan is doomed. Let's talk about that as well. So, we're at the airport. Honestly, I wish I could stay a little bit longer right now. Beautiful weather today. I wasn't that lucky with the weather every day. So, pretty decent. Big airport, as always. The best days are a couple years behind, same as in Europe with most infrastructure. Looks a bit like Squid Game. Hello. To Shanghai.
Shanghai.
Sorry, one second.
Time?
5:30.
5:30, yes. Luggage.
Just one?
It's only one.
Only one. The carry-on check-in, 15 kg.
Around right now?
Just a backpack.
Just your bag. Oh, it's okay.
Very smooth, nice and easy immigration process. One of the very few times you just scan your passport and nothing else. Nice airport, and overall, let me wrap it up on this note. Over the past 2 weeks, I was so deeply stimulated by this country. It looks like nothing else in the world. The infrastructure, the way the cities, also the way just every single building looks. These kind of little vending machines on every single corner, no matter where you are. The fact that all of that is also around for many, many years and it still looks flawless. The old wagons of different metro and subway stations, perfectly maintained. That just speaks for something I actually deeply admire and respect. They built themselves such a nice place and maintain it. With that, of course, all the different things we have covered, which are just interesting things that fascinate me. It's different societal ills that come from abundance, very different than countries that are just struggling with a deficit. And overall, I actually very much so think I want to come back, see a bit more the countryside, see a bit more the real Japanese life. And if you're planning to visit as a tourist, just be ready. Like, I've heard from many people, they're like, oh, I went to whatever, Shibuya, and it was just a crossing. Well, the dreams are not going to come true from having a pancake in Japan, but there is a craze, there is a tourism craze right now. It can be a bit intense, especially first couple of days. I went to some of the main tourist spots and I was just like, oh my God, I was sick of it, to be honest. But then just staying a little bit outside of the city, a couple of different neighborhoods, and you just start to realize when a country has so much that they have built and they have done it in their own way, it is just an absolutely unique place. And also when it comes to all of these problems that we talked about today, the thing is, nobody can predict the future. and definitely not whatever, economists or social studies experts. Because who knows, maybe they're gonna fix it with immigration, maybe the young generation is gonna figure out a way. I believe humans always adapt. I believe in, I believe in humanity at the end of the day, and I think Japan, no matter what, already, some videos I've watched, they're saying this is kind of like the best case scenario in many ways, that the country still functions. It might not be at its heights anymore, but who knows what the future has in store, and I'll be definitely curious to follow. To be honest, if you think about the fact that Japan has been dealing with these problems for a couple of decades already, whereas they're starting to begin in the last maybe 5 to 10 years in European countries, I think they have managed quite well. And in some ways, some analysis that I have watched are saying that Japan in some ways is kind of like almost like a best case scenario, preventing complete collapse when especially like demographic change happens so quickly. But future will tell. Future will tell, and it is fascinating and I think very valuable to see what is happening in Japan as a prediction for what might happen in the world and what maybe should be done. Here is just some kind of shop. Again, it just looks like a post office from back in the day. But I love it. Japan, you have been good. You have been fascinating, and I will be back. Join me on Instagram if you want to see where I am right now, and we're flying out any moment. And so there will be it.